from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. Welcome to the National News broadcast coming to you live from the National News Studio here at Rupavahini. I'm Kasani Balachandra together with Clifford Richards. Let's start off with a quick look at your headlines.
Essential services are in operation amid protests. Minister Prasanna challenges the opposition. People protest against Samagir Janabalavegya parliamentarians. Tear gas and water cannon used on protesters near Parliament. Issuing of kerosene oil has been limited. War Heroes Month commences today. A fourth dose will be given for COVID. 5,000 hospitalized in Iraq due to a sandstorm.
And we move on to those and other stories in detail. Essential services were operated today without any obstacles, despite protest campaign organized against the government by trade unions and civil organizations.
Well, however, reports say that some services did not function. Well, the hospital management said that except for the outpatients department of the National Hospital, all other divisions functioned as usual. Patients faced serious difficulties as the services of the OPDs were not operating. Activities of the Colombo Central Bus Stand took place as usual. The management said sufficient. And before that, we have a story about several train services which commenced from Colombo Fort had been cancelled, and Secretary of the Engine Drivers Association Indigo Durangoda said only limited number of trains were operated. And moving to the Colombo Central Bus Stand and activities taking place as usual, management said sufficient number of buses were deployed today as well. Wholesale trade stalls and business establishments were closed today in Colombo Peta. And also several state institutions in the Colombo city were closed due to the protest. They included the Department of Immigration, Registration of Persons and Immigration Department. Well, emergency treatment activities at the Kandy National Hospital took place as usual. There was a reduction of people arriving in the city. SLTB buses were operated as usual in Hatton. There was a reduction of people arriving. For officers and schools, the majority of estate workers did not report for duty. And also the SLTB buses operated as usual in the Polonnaruwa district, but there was a reduction of people arriving. Although SLTB buses operated in Kegol, private buses did not operate. There was a reduction of people. A group of people engaged in a protest by blocking the road near the Hanguranketamayo Bridge. And also the emergency treatment were given at the Hambantota District Hospital. Our correspondent said surgeries were performed at some hospitals. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority, Dr. Prasanna Jayamana, said the activities of the Colombo harbour continued without any obstructions.
The President's Media Division says that publicity given on Facebook stating that the May salary of state employees who take part in Hartal will be cut off is totally false. A statement issued by the President's Media Division says that the fake news report has used a letterhead of the division and dated 3rd. The Presidential Secretariat has not informed about such a matter to the Public Administration Ministry. And the President's Media Division said an investigation has been launched.
Well, the Chief Government Whip Prasanna Ranatunga has challenged opposition leader Sajith Premadasa to accept the Prime Ministerial portfolio and to provide a solution to the present crisis. He mentioned this in Parliament today. Well, the government and the opposition members expressed their views in Parliament today as well as on the present situation in the country. Former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that MP Rasamanikam has made a wrong statement that I am in the Rajapaksa group but I have never been with them. MP Rasamanikam accepted the Padirippu organizers post from Mahinda Rajapaksa on 21st February 2013. It was mentioned that MP Siyamala Pittiya will come forward again. I said even if the President does not accept the letter, a voting should take place this week. It is a good tradition to come back after changing the side. Former Speaker WJM Lukubandara changed the side but did not resign. We opposed it. Therefore, this is good. I will support if they come from the opposition but not from the government. There is no reason to change once I have given the word. MP Rasamanikam has said that's something wrong and I regret it. They're going around my home to surround it today. I will show that. This is ladies' college and no one gathers near it except past pupils. If they surround the MP's house, how can they go home? Problems in the country should be solved. I am with the no confidence motion. Tell me, if my support is needed, I will stay at a distance and I don't have a problem.
මේ කියන මන්ත්‍රීතුමා ගෙදර වට කරොත් මේ කොහාටද යන්නේ අපි කොතෙන්ටද යන්නේ මේ රටේ ප්‍රශ්න විසඳන එකයි තියෙන්නේ ඒකයි අපි ආණ්ඩුවට කිව්වේ කරුණා කළා මේක විසඳන්න මම ඉන්නවා විශ්වාස භංග යෝජනාවේ මගේ සහයෝගය උමනා නැත්තම් කියන්නේ එතකොට මම ඈත් වෙලා ඉන්නම් මට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ අපි සබ්ස්ටැන්ටිව් මොෂන් එකක් ඉදිරියට
Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that they have submitted a substanding motion. It is the parliament practice to take the substanding motion to debate. You are bound to allow this practice.
මේක පාර්ලිමේන්ටරි ප්‍රැක්ටිස් මේ ප්‍රැක්ටිස් එක ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නට ඔබතුමා බැඳිලා සිටිනවා ඔබතුමාට යෝජනා දෙක
Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that he has given two motions and both are no confidence motions. One is for the Prime Minister and the other is for the President. You have called the committee and held discussions with party leaders yesterday about the matter. The Speaker explained to the opposition members, government members and MP Sumandiran, who is an expert on law. All of us accepted it. A crisis will arise if what is discussed in committees is raised again in Parliament. A no-confidence motion given against the Prime Minister has not been translated into Tamil and English languages. The country must not be misled.
අපි සියලු දෙනා ඒ කාරණාව ඒ ආකාරයෙන් පිළි අරගනිමින් තමයි විසිර ගියේ. කාරක සභාවකදී අපි එකඟට එකඟ වෙලා ඊට පස්සේ ඒ තීරණය ගැන යලිත් ප්‍රශ්න කරනවා නම් පාර්ලිමේන්තු කටයුතු ගෙන යාමේ අරමුදයක් මතුවෙනවා. අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමාට එරෙහි දුන්න විශ්වාස භංග යෝජනාවේ ඔබතුමාලා ද්‍රවිඩ භාෂාවෙන් පරිවර්තනය කළ ඉංග්‍රීසි භාෂාවෙන් පරිවර්තනය කළ දුන්නේ නැහැ. මේවා මම කියන්න උත්සාහ දරන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් රටක් නොමග යවන්න බෑ. පෞගේ කාලේ කවුරු හෝ
Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that there is no use of speaking about wrong deeds committed in the past. We have to do something about the future of the children. This is not to get divided on political lines. This is a time where all of us should come together. We have to think as a country. Let us all make sacrifices. We are prepared to step down from ministerial posts and invite Sajith Premadasa and Anru Kumara to accept those. We will help you. Let us work with transparency. Then the people will say all 225 saved the country.
Tear gas and water cannon were used on the groups that protested near Parliament roundabout this afternoon. The protesters, including students of Inter-University Students' Federation who came to take part in the protest yesterday afternoon near Parliament roundabout in Battaramulla, stayed overnight at the place. After they were dispersed last night using tear gas, they engaged in the protest this afternoon by closing the Parliament road. Apart from the Inter-University Students' Federation, various trade unions, organizations and groups took part in the protest. The protest in front of the Presidential Secretariat continued today for the 28th day. People arrived in the place last night as well. They engaged in protests, shouting slogans.
Well, attention was paid in Parliament about the tension that prevailed today between protesters and police in front of Parliament. The opposition members inquired about the no-confidence motion submitted against the government, and Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abhivardhana said that a decision will be taken at a party leaders' meeting on Monday. But Parliament is scheduled to meet again at 10 a.m. on the 17th. Parliamentarian Hector Apuhami said that people in the country have come out and they are being assaulted. The Speaker should go out and say what the Parliament is doing, or he should adjourn Parliament. Parliamentarian J.C. Alavatolu said that tear gas has been used on the people outside and they are being assaulted. When would the no confidence motion be discussed? Parliamentarian Harin Fernando said that the Speaker is not going to come if he would be kept inside. Therefore, remember that the Speaker will not be allowed to go home. People will be brought inside until the dates are given for the no confidence motion. State Minister Tharaka Balasuri said that since he is on the chair, he can take a decision. This drama should be stopped, he said. Speaker Mahinda Yapa said that party leaders' meeting has been summoned at 10 a.m. on Monday. If possible, the committee will meet within that week or 17th on the following week. We truly regret the incidents that are taking place outside. We request the people to engage in peaceful protests without allowing problems. A complete police report will be called from the IGP about the incidents outside the parliament is adjourned, he said.
Protesters vehemently opposed the parliamentarians of Samagi Janabalavegya who tried to leave parliament premises after the conclusion of parliament sessions.
गेम में वाला क्या हुआ मेचर कल वाला क्या हुआ मेचर कल में गेम में का वाला क्या हुआ डील था गेम में का ओ दारुओ में बाइंगे अरनियंगे अबे दारुओ मेचर कल डील था क्या हुआ गेम.
The European Union has decided to provide humanitarian assistance worth more than 74 million rupees to Sri Lanka.
Well, it will provide essential items to 80,000 poor families in 25 districts. The European Union has identified that many local poor families are finding it difficult to meet their needs due to the prevailing crisis. The Union aims to provide assistance to the people to get medicine. They also expect to support children of poor families whose educational activities have been affected due to the power cuts and to assist them to purchase educational material. Priority will be given to pregnant women, small children, disabled persons, families looked after by women, and also the families facing severe difficulties under the present circumstances. Well, amidst the severe economic crisis in Sri Lanka, the South Indian state of Tamil Nadu is, they have decided to donate their 1 month salary to support the people of the neighboring country.
Now, MPs will donate their salary to the Tamil Nadu CM's Public Relief Fund as a financial aid. Yesterday, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin announced a contribution of 10 million Indian rupees from his party to the State Fund for Sri Lanka. Stalin had earlier sought assistance from the central government to supplement the aid being sent from India to Sri Lanka. He expressed gratitude to the External Affairs Ministry for accepting the state's request, highlighting that the situation was pitiable in the island nation. Stalin has also appealed to the people to donate to the Tamil Nadu government's fund to buy essentials to support people of Sri Lanka who are suffering from a dearth of food and medicine. The Tamil Nadu government would soon be sending 40,000 tons of rice, 500 tons of milk powder and life-saving drugs in the first phase, he had said in his appeal for Sri Lanka. Stalin says that this is the time to render whatever assistance that is possible to the Sri Lankan people and requested donations to help the people of the island nation. India has supplied nearly 40,000 metric tons of petrol to Sri Lanka to help ease the fuel shortage in the country. Petroleum Corporation has taken steps to limit issuing of kerosene. Accordingly, one customer will be issued only 5 litres per day.
Well, the Petroleum Corporation has informed the filling station owners to stop issuing fuel against conditions of the Marketing Bureau circular issued earlier. Well, accordingly, fuel will not be issued to containers such as barrels. The Marketing Bureau said that streamlined process has been implemented to issue fuel according to the approval given to issue fuel to sectors that directly contribute to the production process. Kerosene is issued for the fisheries industry only on a valid letter issued by the Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. The corporation has emphasized it is a serious offence to issue kerosene for industries, businesses and buses and allowing the misuse of fuel. Marketing manager of the Petroleum Corporation, Chaminda Samarakot, said that they have decided to cancel the permits of filling stations if they act against the advice given. It is possible to get diesel for containers with the permission of the District Secretary and Divisional Secretary for some industries and agriculture. Distribution of fuel from Colonnawa depot of the Petroleum Corporation took place as usual. The workers said that distribution is taking place island-wide without any obstructions. General Secretary of the Podujana Progressive Workers Union, Bandul Saman Kumar, said that the distribution is taking place from 11 storage facilities including Colonnawa and Muthurajawala. This is not a trade union struggle. We are not supporting because it is being done with narrow political aims. The activities of the Colonnawa depot are taking place as usual. All distribution activities are taking place from Muthurajawala terminal. Do not betray the organizations for political aims. We have to work to build the country. Distribution manager WMTWA Bandar said that distribution of fuel through all storage facilities is taking place. Distribution of fuel is taking place as usual all 24 hours of the day.
මේ වර්ජනයේ කිසිම බාධාවක් වෙලා නැහැ. ඒ නිසා වෙනදා විදිහට සුපුරුදු පරිදි පැය 24ම රටේ අවශ්‍යතාවයට අනුව ඉන්ධන බෙදාහැරීම් කටයුතු ක්‍රියාත්මක කරගෙන යනවා බාධාවකින්.
Meanwhile, queues of fuel were seen in many parts of the country even today. Well, the War Heroes Remembrance Month was announced today.
The National War Heroes flag was presented to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at Colombo Fort President's house. The War Heroes Month is commemorated remembering the brave war heroes who committed themselves for an independent, free country by eliminating more than 3 decades of terrorism. The War Heroes Remembrance Month is marked from the day the National War Heroes flag was pinned on the President. Chairman of the Ranaviru Seva Authority, retired Major General Nandana Senadhira, pinned the War Heroes flag on President. A group of people, including Minister Professor G.L. Pires and officials of Ranaviru Seva Authority, were present on the occasion.
Well, the epidemiology unit has decided to give a 4th dose for the COVID. Health Minister Professor Channa Jayasumana said today it is scheduled to be given from Monday. Minister Professor Channa Jayasumana said that the decision has been taken by the committee affiliated to the Health Ministry on COVID. Accordingly, recommendations have been given to give a 4th dose for those above 60 years. It has been recommended for the persons in the age group between 20 and 60 years with less immunity and with chronic illnesses to get the dose. Those between the age group of 20 and 60 years will not be urged to get the vaccine. 3 months should have been passed after taking the 3rd dose to get the 4th dose, he said. We have given the first dose to children between 12 and 16 and they are to be given the 2nd dose. A slight heart condition has been observed among the youth who took the Pfizer vaccine. Therefore, students between the ages of 12 and 16 who get the 2nd dose should not get engaged in heavy physical activities. Views are being expressed about media reports related to shortage of medicine. The minister said that the World Bank gives $76 million to get medicine. The ADB gives $60 million and $125 million under the Indian credit line will be given to purchase medicine. It was possible to open letters of credit in the first week of April since first part of the World Bank assistance was received. Letters of credit have been opened for medicines and equipment worth $25.4 million by today. Letters of credit were opened during the past 24 weeks for 349 varieties. There can be a shortage until those are received. We have informed the WHO and the friendly countries early. As a result, we're getting donations. Sri Lanka has received medicine worth 570 million rupees as a donation from Indonesia. The Prime Minister's Office of Bangladesh has donated medicine to the value of $3.2 million to the country in Dhaka today. It includes 56 essential varieties of medicine. The WHO resident representative assured the medical assistance of $1.5 million. Last week, an Indian Navy ship brought 100 varieties of essential medicine. China has come forward to provide medicine and surgical equipment. An American institution, Red Cross and Red Cross Singapore, are providing medical aid. The shortage of medicine can be met through various aid. We will get all these medicine and surgical equipment by the 1st of August. The challenge is for the next 3 months and it should be managed, he said. Well, representatives of 11 parties say that they have to work under the prevailing political situation while facing various problems.
During a media briefing in Colombo today, they said they would not give up their efforts. Parliamentarian Asank Navaratna said that they invited everyone to build political and economic stability. However, the main opposition political parties, Samaga Jana Balavega and other opposition political parties are thinking to come into power without being sensitive to the people's problems. Parliamentarian Veerasumana Veerasinghe said that all people in urban and rural areas still have not joined the struggle. When they also join, they cannot be prevented placing various obstacles. The responsibility of the rulers is to perform their duties by the people, and the struggle should not be taken lightly. COPE committee has paid its attention on not preparing a streamlined process for oil and natural gas exploration in the Mana Basin.
Well, this committee met under the patronage of MP Lasantha Alagewanna in Parliament complex yesterday. Well, the committee met to examine audit reports at present task of the Power and Energy Ministry in 2018, 2019 and 2020 years. According to the data, it has been found that there are 5 billion oil barrels and 5 trillion cubic feet of natural gas are there in the Mannar Basin. The Chief Accounting Officer has said that it is sufficient for 60 years. It has been mentioned that it can be used to increase electricity supply of the country up to 1,130 kilowatts and to earn $200 billion from various sectors for 25 years by producing natural gas.
Nearly 50 houses have been damaged by strong winds which flew this morning along with rains in Bandaragama area. 22 houses in Bandaragama, Alubomulla area have been damaged. 50 places of electrical lines have been damaged by strong winds. Our reporter said that the electricity board has restored the power lines. The Met Department says showers or thundershowers can occur in many areas of the country tonight. Thundershowers can occur in the morning in western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in Gaul and Mathura districts. Foreign news on the other side of this break. Welcome back, and in your foreign news tonight, Russia has said its missiles destroyed a large ammunition depot in the eastern Ukrainian city of Kramatorsk, according to its defense ministry. Moscow also said its air defenses shot down 2 Ukrainian warplanes in Su-25 and a MiG-29 in the eastern Luhansk region. Ukraine's forces in the Luhansk region are preparing for more powerful offensives from the Russians in the next 3 to 4 days, the region's governor has said. The United Kingdom's defense ministry has warned Russia would try to capture Kramatorsk and Severodonetsk, as this would consolidate Moscow's military control in northeastern Donbas region. A senior Ukrainian official has said a new attempt is underway to evacuate civilians trapped with Ukrainian fighters in the Azovstal steel works plant in the southern city of Mariupol. Meanwhile, Germany will deliver 7 self-propelled howitzers to Ukraine, Germany's defense minister has said. The training of Ukrainian troops on the artillery weapon can start next week in Germany. Since the start of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, 223 children have died and 408 were injured.
And moving into Israel, 3 people have been killed and others wounded in what police say is a suspected terror attack in the central Israeli city of Elad. Israeli media reported that 2 attackers armed with knives, axes or both targeted passers-by in a park. Well, the manhunt is underway, with police setting up roadblocks and searching vehicles. The attack came on Israel's Independence Day, a public holiday marking the country's founding. A volunteer medic said that the incident will be deeply etched in my heart. The victims were people who went out just to breathe fresh air in the park, and their lives were ended so harshly. Local authorities in Elad have ordered residents to stay indoors. Most of the city's population are members of Israel's ultra-Orthodox Jewish community. And moving on with more international stories, 1 person died in Iraq and more than 5,000 were treated in hospitals yesterday for respiratory ailments due to a sandstorm in the 7th in a month.
Now, dust storms have increased dramatically in frequency in Iraq in recent years, driven by soil degradation and intense droughts made worse by climate change with rising average temperatures and sharply lower rainfall. Residents of 6 of Iraq's 18 provinces, including Baghdad and the vast western region of Al-Anbar, awoke once again to a thick cloud of dust blanketing the sky. As the storm swept across Iraq, it shrouded the capital Baghdad and the holy city of Najaf in ghostly orange clouds of choking dust. People are suffering from chronic respiratory diseases such as asthma, and the elderly who suffer in particular from heart ailments.
Well, the Labor Day holiday is celebrated in style in China. A kite-themed festivity was held in a rural town of Lishan City in southwest China's Sichuan province, with colorful kites of various shapes flying in the sunny sky, adding fun to the 5-day Labor holiday for tourists. Well, the 2-day event at the Guiba campground in Mosey Town was highlighted by the decoration of a walkway with diverse kites. 2 5-meter-long traditional kites at the 2 ends of the corridor attracted many people taking photos. At the event, children could have the chance to make a kite for themselves together with their parents, while parents could enjoy a good time with their children. Besides the kites made and flown by tourists, large kites flown by some professional teams, including a 300-meter-long cluster kite and a 30-meter-long ray-shaped kite, formed colorful scenery in the sky. The May Day holiday season of this year ran from April 30th to May 4th amid strict observation of anti-pandemic requirements.
Terima kasih, Pantamai.
And with that, we conclude tonight's English news. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time.
Good night.
Good night.